In this video coming up, I'm going to show you how I went from this to this. Welcome to EarlyBirdPicker. My name is Rafa. I'm a reseller on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, and Amazon. I have a series going on currently called Kaizen Reseller Series. The idea of the series is just continual improvement of my entire reselling. I've decided to switch the name to optimizing every aspect of my reselling business, or something along these lines, just because I think it just better describes what I'm doing, and just a lot more people will immediately recognize that versus Kaizen resellers. Anyway, where I'm going with this is, in this episode, one thing that was really bothering me was boxes that I either keep from Amazon or eBay purchases, or ones that my neighbor gives me, basically. And so we're talking about pre-built boxes. In this episode, I'm going to show you the current state of the pre-built boxes, how much room they're taking up in my storage area in the nest, basically because I stack them one inside the other, kind of like nesting dolls, rather than like breaking them down and compressing them. That's where I'm going with this one. Is I'm going to show you the process that I use to break them down, and then at the end of the video, the final result, showing you how much space I saved in the entire process. And not only that, I'm also making it a lot easier to find boxes whenever I'm looking for a specific size. Find one a lot easier to pull. Let's get them. Okay, so here is a look at it now. As you can see, kind of what I do. Sometimes I don't stack them well at all inside each other. Sometimes I put ones that fit inside one in the other. But overall, it's not a great use of space, just because you can see how much they stick out. So my plan to reorganize them is I'm going to keep one box open of whatever size. So I'm going to first like categorize them by size, break down all but one, and put the broken down ones inside like the actual built out one, so I know exactly kind of what size is in those. And I'm hopeful that this will like compress a lot of space. I'll show you here in just a second. Okay, here's an update to the progress I'm making of where my original shipping boxes, the ones that were already pre-made. You can see I'm definitely eating away at some extra space here. All of the ones that are larger like this, I've set aside. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do with those yet. A lot of these had boxes inside of them, like smaller boxes, kind of like a nesting dolls almost. And at the end of the day, I thought that would save space, but I just never would open these big boxes to see the smaller ones inside. So these are just set aside for now. These are ones I'm still working through right here, some other bigger ones. Okay, so whenever I am gonna process the boxes, what I do is I grab them. So like here's a set right here, and I take them over to this stand right here. At this stand, I remove all the other boxes, and here I kind of look over the size of it and compare it to what I have set up over here. I mark out the shipping label, because I think that's just a really wise thing to do. Just to mark out where your original shipping label is from, especially if somebody gave you the box. So I mark through any of the ink on the shipping label, which size box it's closest to. So you can see I basically have sorted them by length, and I've got the smallest length ones here, and then like stacked in heights, and then just kind of on down the line here. So any ones that are folded up in here obviously are pretty much the exact same size as this one. And so I mark the label out over here, and then I bring it over to this table, and then try to match it up with the right length box. This one's probably even longer, so this one will probably start like a whole new category there. So that's basically my process for condensing my shipping boxes. I'll show you the finished result. What I wanted to update is I'm really doing a lot of my restructuring of my reselling business based off the 5S protocol, basically, which, if you caught my earlier video, S is sort. So we've pretty much done that now. We've just nearly sorted all the boxes in terms of size, and then here are the larger ones right here. So of the 5S, sort was the first one. I'm going to jump ahead to the final two S's, which the fourth S is standardize, and the fifth S is sustain. And so when you're setting a new process in your business, those two final pieces are really important, because it's great if you do the work to organize the boxes, but then if you don't put some type of system in place to keep them managed that way, it's just going to get really messy again, and then it's not a great system. A complete system looks at how to maintain what you set in order, and so here is the update on that. I just got this box in the mail today. I immediately brought it to my shipping table, or just kind of where I do all my activities. After I take out whatever is in here, I've got my Sharpie here. I'm going to immediately mark through all the labels, so basically whenever I go to pull the box, I don't have to worry about marking out the label. I know that it's already done. And then after that, I'm going to take it to my table over here and determine which box it's most similar to and break it down and fit it in one of those. This is not the final place, obviously, where these boxes are going to live, but while I figure it out, this is where they're at right now. So aside from showing you guys the final piece about where these boxes live, that's basically the system that I used to compress my boxes. Okay, here's the next update on my garage space with my boxes. So let's get into it. As you can see, I have changed what I'm keeping in this section right here. For the most part, these are free USPS shipping supplies. This is the one that I use all the time. It's a 12 by 12 by 8, so it's there. I just look at it and instantly know that's what that one is. But all these other ones, as you can see, it's a 1095, 1092, 1097. I think I'm missing my fourth one right now. And then I've got these 12 by 9 by 4 boxes, and you can see I have it labeled. And then I have a box of padded flat rate. And so it's going pretty good. These moved over to here from here. So I cleared off this shelf now, and I've taken all the boxes that were on the white table that I had organized, and I started in the back with the ones that had the longest length, basically dimension, and I snaked them around like this, and they pretty much fit perfectly. I do have squeezed in here, these are my 8 by 8 by 4 boxes that I use to ship hats, and I do buy those rather than get those for free because I ship so many hats, and so I just go ahead and spend money on that. Up here is still a mess and everything, but that is this is probably the resting place for these boxes unless I just find a really good other place. So as you can see, we took care of the smaller boxes that I had pre-stored up to get compressed. We still have some oddballs, like this really large one that my bubble wrap comes in, these sizes down here, and then this stack right here. I still have to figure out what to do with the larger boxes to make them fit just a lot more efficiently. Okay, so this is basically the final product of dealing with my boxes that were pre-made. As you can see, I have other shipping boxes on the top shelf here that are USPS shipping boxes, the free ones that I've not dealt with. But the goal of this video is just boxes that were pre-made. So here is the initial space where they all were. I wish I had measured it, but I look back at the beginning of the video and it looks like it came kind of on that row right here. So we're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 feet out like this by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're talking about 25 square feet worth of space here in the nest. And as you can see, all that we have left is basically this really big box of bigger boxes, and then this one here that are more kind of like longer, skinnier boxes. And so that's taking up about 2 feet, let's see, 2 by 2, 4, 6, we'll call it 6 to 8 feet now, as compared to the 25 feet that all the boxes were taken originally. The only one left is basically this one, but it's holding a ton of kitchenware, and so I didn't do anything with that. But you can see the table is basically empty. I've just got this one last box, but not really part of these other ones. And so that is the final result of my shipping box project to compress them, ultimately to save space and make it so much faster, hopefully, when I'm going to pull a box. If you enjoyed this video series, please be sure and leave me a like and a comment, and let me know any updates if you give this a try that you find to the process. I'd love to put it back into my process as well going forward. Thanks so much for watching this video, and as always, I'll see all y'all on the next video.